Julie's up next.
Yep.
And if I had to think of a word for Julia's in this trip, it would be yes. Not that you ever did that, but that's my movement for your yes. Whenever there was an issue, an offering, an option, I mean, there were definitely non-negotiables as far as we're going here today, we're going there, but sometimes like waking up at 4 in the morning to go to a monastery, that was optional. Yes, I'm in. Julia showed up, I think, 100% or 110%. So, and even, as we said earlier, everybody had challenges. So even among challenges, Julia still brought that yes spirit. So, here's Julia.
All right. As Lisa's mentioned, I'm Julia Kaufman, and this is on Community and Love. So about the My Gold Foundation, their mission is to empower youth to access their inner wisdom and realize their dreams. They do this through a bunch of community work and obviously work in Nepal as well. And so why did we choose Nepal? Why did they bring this group of 7 youth ambassadors there? There are 4 main pillars to this. Anti-trafficking. Obviously, we do a lot of work with organizations about sex trafficking in Nepal. It's a crisis there, and we work with different organizations to help eliminate the issue and work towards a better solution. Education, both of us and of teens there, and that goes along with the cross-cultural exchange. So a lot of just education about what people do there that's different and what we do, and telling people that. And then service learning. We do work at a bunch of schools, and we get to hang out with kids there. These pictures, you've had some of them too, are from a hike that we went on with some of the children from Himalayan Children's Charity. We spent a lot of time with them. This boy in particular, his name is Prem, which means love. And these pictures are of all of us. He would walk up to us, link arms with everyone, and just walk down this hill and stuff. And that was something that was very big there. They showed love, they would always be holding hands with each other and just throwing their arm around a friend. Something else in Nepal, boys holding hands, while here that might have a more romantic inclination, there not at all. It's just a casual thing that friends do. This is from the Team Kanaya Primary School. Next, I'm going to show you a video of the ceremony that they welcomed us with. Yeah, let's watch that. It's not good. Which were already put on us before this. And there's sort of a sentiment in Nepal and in India and surrounding cultures that guests are gods. So they celebrate guests, and this moment in particular was kind of uncomfortable because it's like you're being worshipped and it's not something you completely expect, and it does feel weird because you're walking into someone else's home, and while we feel like we should be respecting them, they throw loads of respect and just love towards you. And the love just continues. That's me with a few girls. The one girl in the red hat held my hand the whole day. If I was going somewhere, she was going with me. And I would go with her. I took a selfie with her mom. And I was just with her that whole day. And also that little girl, she just would hang out and lean and put her entire body weight against me, and was just the sweetest little thing. And then these pictures just of our group of kids, they're just all chilling with their arms around each other, you know? Alright, so Rinku and Ashtedi. Rinku is a cobbler that Matthew would see, and we would all see as we were like leaving like our guest house and going towards like the stupa and stuff. And he had insisted that we come to his home for tea to meet his family. This is us on the way there. This is us inside. They were so welcoming, and they served us tea and like cookies, and they put these scarves around us, and they were just, it was very home-like and familial, and it was such a nice experience. And also it goes with the treating guests with like utmost respect. So why? Basically, the expression of love and community in Nepal was far different than what it is here. It was far more open and exaggerated and stronger. And it was like a beautiful thing to witness. It was so nice to just see friends greet each other with a hug, put their arms around each other, hold each other's hands, just because they wanted to, without reason. It wasn't like they were saying hello or goodbye. It was just because they wanted to. And that made me think about how much I would have liked that here. And wouldn't it have been great if I could just walk up to any of my friends and hug them and not have anyone think twice about it? Because there's a lot of different inclinations here about, like, if you're a girl hugging a guy friend or vice versa or anything, there's stereotypes around that. And it's just, it was so freeing to see how much everyone loved each other there. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice? And how could we do that here more often? Because I feel like everyone would like to be able to hug their friends more and like to throw an arm around each other. All right. So, give somebody a hug, tell a friend you love them, and lend a hand. Thank you so much. What's up?
How much different did you feel coming back from that experience in Nepal?
It was
Here.
So the adjustment back here was far different. Alright, the adjustment coming back was way much harder than actually going there. And I found myself when I was coming here, I didn't know how to act. We came back on Sunday and we had school on Monday. So I walked into school after this 2-week submersion, and I was I wanted to hug my friends, but I was I haven't seen y'all, and I was just on a plane. So it was kind of awkward, and it was awesome, but it was very difficult because it's more kind of cold here, not temperature-wise, but you can't just do that stuff, and you could there, and it was kind of just depressing, honestly, to see that difference. Yes.
Does that make you think that does that make you feel that you're even somehow inauthentic with the people that you care about because you're not doing what felt so right there?
Absolutely. When I was there, I kept thinking about why I don't do that, and if it makes my friends feel I don't love them as much as I do. And I still haven't gotten past the mental barrier, because it would be weird to just walk up to everyone I know and just hug them randomly. But then again, I would like that. So maybe you should. I don't know.
Is there a way you can integrate new knowledge and experience?
I feel there definitely is. Just making it more casual, and even just starting with hugging people to say hello, I think would be a great start. What's up?
Well, it's not as much of a question as when I was growing up, and I'm sure some of the parents here, men really didn't hug each other. You might hug your dad,
Yeah.
but friends didn't hug each other.
Mm-hmm.
But over the past 20, 30, 40 years, I notice a lot more younger guys go up to each other, they hug each other.
Mm-hmm.
Even myself with my friends, I go up to them and I'll hug them. That was weird. It was a weird barrier for me to overcome because I grew up at a time when you just didn't do it. So I think our culture has changed a little.
Yeah.
But what would you suggest to do to bring that out?
I mean, I'd say just make it more casual, I guess. I mean, that's what I like said.
Mhm.
I just starting with hugging your friends and saying hello, and I think that eventually once people realize that, like, initiating it is the hardest part. Like, I think that that's what most people struggle with, is getting past the initial thought process of like, I want to go hug my friend. They don't want to think about what their friend is thinking about. So it's like stressful in a way, but I think once you get past that like initial interaction, just like it'd be more casual, and then it just grows from there.
What about your food experience, which was also hard? Do you expect you'll be eating any of those sorts of foods again here?
I do. I think I could eat dog bot again. It's a big step for me. I think I could do it. It took a little while, but I think I'm there.
Road trip to Jackson Heights, you and your friends.
Jackson Heights.
Jackson Heights.
Okay.
Maybe Bell Pop.
Okay. I have to do that. I want momos. I do miss momos.
Momo. We have to
That's
make
what
Momo.
we gotta make momos. We'll have Carissa make them.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you talk about, okay, disclaimer first, I know we've talked about this right before, but I think it's really, you have a deep thinking about this, and I think people would benefit hearing it, the disconnect, that dis-ease, that discomfort you felt around the visit to Tinkanya School, and
Yeah.
what we were doing there. Can you speak to that a little bit?
So the opening ceremony, we had the local government came, and the local president gave a speech. They had us up there on like a set of benches, kind of like a stage, and like the whole village came after. They just had these children put these flower lays on us, and they put tika, which is like the red powder, on our foreheads, and something I think Elise and Matthew did very well to avoid on this trip was like a white savior moment. And that kind of felt like that because it kind of brought up the question of like, who is getting more out of this? Like, are we getting more or are we giving more? And while it is an exchange, you have to be careful of what lines you tread with service work like that, because you can so easily make it something that it's not. Like, we've discussed volunteerism, which is basically like, it's just kind of like going and being a tourist and just doing volunteer work because you think that that's the best thing to do, but you're supporting the wrong things. And the mentality behind it is so important. Like, if you don't have that awareness that that was kind of a weird situation, talking about it to other people would not make a lot of sense. Is that what you were looking for? I don't know. It was just it was an uncomfortable moment to like kind of be paraded there and celebrated like that, because that's not what we do here. When you have new people come to your house, like if you had like a relative from like Ireland or whatever come to your home, you're not gonna have your local government come and have a speech about them. So it was an uncomfortable moment, and the lines were treaded, and it was of no fault of our own. It was their culture, so they do.
Do you know why you were being treated as such a big deal?
Well, it goes along with the whole guests are gods thing, and also, so that village, HCC, which is Himalayan Children's Charity, kind of adopted that during the pandemic because, who saw the news thing? Maya saw like a news broadcast that basically that village was starving because they weren't getting enough like food because of like, what's it called, shipping stuff during like the pandemic. And so they adopted that village. So we went there because HCC had kind of like adopted them. But like we were a bunch of white kids going. So like it's very obvious that we're like not from there. So it's easy to like celebrate it like that because we were obviously guests.